Okay.
All right, thank you all for attending this lovely presentation on Zoom, the campus standard for video conferencing. I am Tammy Bullard. I am with Campus Technology Services here at Oswego. I like to summarize this as a basic crash course of Zoom in 20 minutes. What is Zoom exactly? It is a video communications, video chat service that can be used in the classroom or as a classroom, as we all know now, for outside of class interviews, presentation days, as well as we also have HR search accounts. If you're looking for people for job interviews, we have that option. The features are you can meet with 1 to 300 people, video or no video. You can schedule them in advance, share your screens, record the meeting. There is a phone application out there, but us at CTS, we normally recommend that as like a last minute resort if you can't use your computer, and so much more. Just like my friend Tin dancing up here, let's go through some Zoom basics. First things first, you would probably need a licensed account. How do you get one? You can request one through CTS by using ServiceNow or emailing me. My email will be at the end of this presentation for you. Back to the basics, I'm going to be showing you how to sign in, start a meeting, end a meeting, and mute your audio and video. Let's get to it. All right, so signing into Zoom, you'll go to zoom.us. It's not .com, it's .us. And then this is what the page sometimes looks like. It's been a couple of years since I've updated that. You'll go to sign in right in the upper right-hand corner. And from there, you can sign in using your email and password that you set up, or if you do have the option to sign in with Google, if you've set that up. From there, this is what your Zoom profile looks like. It comes up with all of your information here, as well as you can schedule profile, meetings, recordings, and much more. Starting a meeting, very simple. So you go to your profile. In the upper right-hand corner, you can host a meeting with video on, video off, or screen sharing only. Those are the options, and then you'll also download Zoom. Once Zoom downloads, you actually get this nice little pop-up that says connecting. You can join with computer audio. In the upper right-hand corner, there is the option to go full screen. Continuing on, make sure you select join with computer audio as soon as you join the meeting, just so that way you have audio options. Say your audio is not working very well, you can test your speaker and microphone. That can be found either when you start to join the meeting or in the bottom bar. It'll ask you, do you hear a ringtone? If you hear a ringtone, yes, or you can change your options down below. And then if you speak, you pause, and if you don't hear a replay, once again, it'll go through and find different ways to have a microphone for you. Once you set both of those up, it says your speaker and microphone look good, and then you can join right then from there. This is what a basic Zoom meeting looks like. With Oswego, you have all this stuff down here, which I'll be referencing as the bottom bar. And yeah, so Zoom, if you've noticed before, if you've been in our presentation, Zoom has actually updated security. So this is options where you can lock your meeting where nobody else can join once everybody's joined. You can enable a waiting room and, of course, allow your participants to share things as well. So if you've been here before, you've noticed invite is now gone. It's been replaced with security, but that doesn't mean you can't invite to a meeting if you've started it. You go to participants now, and then you'll select invite, which is down in the corner. And then you just do the same thing as before. You can select Gmail, where it opens up to our Oswego Liker Apps mail, and it comes up with all of this stuff that comes up. You really don't need it. I will show you another way right now, which is actually easier. Inviting you via URL, you can actually go to this bottom corner, click invite link, it'll copy it to your clipboard, and paste it however you need to send it, whether it's your Facebook Messenger, your social media, or even through emails. Meeting perspectives includes once somebody joins a meeting, this is what it will look like. It'll say this person's coming in, and it shows up. And you'll notice in the top up here, it tells you this person's connecting their audio, they can't hear you yet. And once they connect, you'll now be able to see that little check mark says that you're good. Muting is easy as cake. You'll go over here and select stop video. From there, it actually stops your video for you. Where's my internet? Come on. Okay, I think I'm back now. Sorry about that. For some odd reason, my internet does not like me today. I'll be going over that in a little while. To use the same Zoom room link, it actually can be your video. When you're scheduling your meetings, it'll actually be like your account ID. So continuing on with muting, you will go to mute down below. Okay, we good now? Coming back. Sorry about this. I don't know what's going on. Let it load back up. Okay. I will rewind here. All right. So muting your video basically shows that you're now gray line, or it shows your picture if you have one. Muting your audio basically gives you a nice little microphone with a line through it saying that you are officially muted. Unmuting, what you'll do is you will click on that line and it'll come back, your video will come back. Same thing with unmuting your audio. You actually can just select that and it brings it back. All right, ending the meeting. So right in the bottom, you can select end meeting for all, or leave meeting. If you leave the meeting, you do end up assigning a host after. And what I've learned now is they don't need to be within the Oswego accounts. If you need to push the meeting and come back, you can. You just won't be the host anymore. So remember, signing in by going to zoom.us and signing in with your email and potential password that you can set up. Starting your meeting with video on, video off, or screen share. So if you disconnect and come back in Blackboard, I believe you will become the host again. So it's just outside of Blackboard that will be. No problem. And then you'll end your meeting just like I said below in the bottom corner. Come on. Other Zoom features now include scheduling meetings, recording, and sharing screens. Take a minute, let me. So for scheduling your meeting, you will go to your profile. Go to meetings. And then from there, you can select schedule a new meeting. From there, it comes up with a giant screen that says, okay, what do you want us to type your meeting, and have optional. You can name the title of your meeting and have description as optional. You don't have to put a description unless you really feel like being fancy. From there, you can set, oh, my bad. From there, you can set your date, your time, how long you want the meeting for. With the licensed account, you can have up to 24-hour meetings, which I don't know who wants to host a 24-hour meeting, but to each their own. And then from there, you can make it a recurring meeting. Like say you have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. There is the option to make it as recurring and repeating until you tell it to stop repeating. Now you can, this is where you can make the, that is possible, but that would have to be, you'd have to make it like different meetings for the recurring, like I would have, let's see. So is it possible to make a recurring meeting with different times on different days? Yes, but they would probably end up being like different meetings, if that makes sense. Like it wouldn't be like the same meeting link, but if you use your personal meeting ID, that is also an option. Okay, so this is where the person asked about the meeting rooms. You can actually make it your personal meeting ID, which will be your Zoom which will be your Zoom ID basically, or generate automatically, which comes up with, you can have different links for different meetings. Now, Zoom in the past has announced, we're requiring meeting passwords for everyone. I haven't seen them implement it yet for license accounts, but just be prepared that they may start requiring meeting passwords. You can make it whatever you want, keep it simple. I made this one that I've created for my gifts, CTS, just so that way people remember. You can have the option to turn your host video on, your participant video on. You can do either or. Make sure with audio you select both, just in case you have somebody, which I've worked with before, they can only call into their meetings. So make sure you have both on selected, just in case somebody decides to call in. You can enable join before host. That just basically means if somebody is an early bird like I am, for example, they can just click on the link and then they'll already be in the meeting. You can mute them upon entry, enable a waiting room, where basically the host will check in and see, okay, this person's coming into my meeting. Okay, I can let them in. This hacker's coming into my meeting. Okay, I'm not allowing them in. They will be blocked. You can record the meetings automatically on the local computer or in the cloud. I will cover more about recording in a little bit. Make sure you hit save. I have had problems in the past where somebody's like, where's my meeting? Did you hit save? No, I closed out the tab. So after all that work you put on that meeting, make sure you hit save. There is the option for alternate host, but we have discovered that if they don't have a Suny Oswego Zoom account, they can't become an alternate host for the meeting. That basically just means, say you're coming in late, you need to have somebody start the meeting before you, you can make them an alternate host. Or if you're scheduling for somebody else, that is also an option. I believe if they don't have a license account, if they don't have a license account, not an Oswego account, my bad. If they don't have a license account, they can't obviously become co-host, but you can make them if they have a license account. Okay, so this is what your meeting will look like when it's scheduled. It has all the stuff that you selected. You can also start the meeting from right over here. If you use Google Calendar, there is an option to select it to add to your Google Calendar. From there, it comes up as everything that you've selected. And you can just join the link either up top or even right below with everything else that's been mentioned. With the passwords, it actually ends up showing you in the Google Calendar meeting right below the Zoom meeting link. And you'll also notice that the meeting link is a lot longer. That basically just means I've set a password up and you can't join in just by clicking on the link. You'll have to actually physically enter in a password. Okay, so you'll go to your select meetings. This is for with security concerns with once it's integrated in Blackboard. I believe yes, because Zoom is actually kind of like its own separate individual thing, but you will not need to set a password. As of right now, once you get a licensed account, you won't need to worry about passwords or anything. Okay, so if you want to not use Google Calendar, you can go to your meetings. You can copy the meeting invitation, which once I brings it back, you can copy your meeting invitation, which will copy everything that like it's been before, where it's all of this, lots of different information for you that you can send out. Or if you want to keep it simple, once it loads, just go under invite attendees where it's this giant Zoom URL. You just copy and paste that, and you can share that with whoever you would need to. Okay, so it's the day of your meeting. So you want to start the meeting, you can go to your profile. Go to meetings. Now there's two different ways once it loads to go through and start a new schedule, or sorry, to actually start your meeting. Yes, you can actually paste that into your Blackboard email too. That's actually something that I think I actually helped one of the professors in the biology department do it. You can copy that and send it to all your people that are inside Blackboard. You can copy that link that was shown next to invite attendees and just paste it in. And then the students should be able to just click on that link and then join your scheduled class times. Okay. So in the right-hand corner, you can actually just select start and that'll start the meeting for you. Or if you click on the name of the actual meeting right here, there's actually the option to start the meeting from clicking on the name. If you do have a meeting password, it does show on your lovely little profile where it says the meeting. It hides it, so say somebody's looking over your shoulder and wants to join the meeting, they won't know the password. So. Okay, so a general summary with scheduling your meetings include going to your profile, selecting schedule a new meeting, making sure you select save, then the day of, start your meeting. Get my chat going. Use the calendar invite in Google. Patricia, I will actually, I actually don't have that in this presentation for breakout rooms, but I actually have documents and links out for once at the end of this meeting. I will remember to send you my documents and the Zoom link. I will write this down now so I don't forget. No problem. Okay. Anything else before I click on, hopefully? Will repeat the distinction. Yeah. Okay. For Blackboard, personally, I am not the 100% expert on that, but I do have a document out that Kathy Dutton created. She's also another member of CTS. So yeah, there will be a session on that coming up, I believe. I don't know when it is. John can probably confirm when that will be coming up. But this is just a basic overview of Zoom. Perfect, immediately after this, awesome.
I think it's later this week, actually. I was just looking for that.
Perfect. Okay. So using the same link for classes would be using a recurring meeting and using your meeting ID. For Google Calendar invites, I can go back, possibly. Let me just take a little. No problem. All right, so to review for Google Calendar, let me roll this up. I know I'm cutting short on my time here. Okay, so for Google Calendar, once you hit Google Calendar, it goes right to the actual Google Calendar invite. And then it'll just be the link on top or the link below. They're both the same link. You just have that scheduled and then you can add the people through Google Calendar to this meeting. So I'm going to go back to recording now once it loads. So for recording your meeting, you'll see up the bottom bar where you can select record to the computer or record to the cloud. I will be covering both of those and the differences between them. So you'll notice that once you change to record, it actually changes to a pause or stop button. And those will actually, if you pause the recording, it basically just pauses it like you would pause a DVD where it won't continue on without you selecting to continue. If you stop it, it automatically stops it and makes it its own file. As said before, once you stop it, it changes back to the little record circle. Okay. So cloud versus computer. Currently right now, we are very low on cloud storage, but do not worry. Once we upgrade to Zoom Enterprise, we will actually have a lot more storage. I'm just waiting on the date when we actually get approved to upgrade, as well as I almost forgot to mention this. We only have about 9 accounts available right now. Once again, once we upgrade to Zoom Enterprise, which I'm hoping will be soon, I need to talk with my supervisors about it. We will actually get over 8,000 accounts. So we will be good then. Okay, so for cloud versus computer, when we get more cloud storage, once we remove last semester's things, and you'll learn how to do that. And once you record to the cloud, this is also how it'll be recording for Blackboard, I've been told. So you'll get a nice little cloud button over there that lets you know we are recording. And then it asks you at the end, do you want to stop it? When you stop your cloud recording, you can say yes. And then from there, you'll actually get an email from Zoom when your cloud recording is available to view and or use for whatever you would need to. So you want to view your cloud recording, you click on your profile. You can go to recordings, just like before. Adding captions for recordings. As of right now, it's complicated with Zoom. I believe the best way for captions with recordings is, as John's mentioned before in one of my Zoom presentations, is uploading the videos to YouTube, because they have captioning services that are actually really kind of accurate. Unless we actually pay for more, which is kind of hard. So I recommend, as John said, upload them to YouTube, and then they can actually caption them for you.
Another option now is to upload Panopto, because Panopto will do the same
thank
thing.
you.
Either way.
Yeah, Panopto or YouTube is probably your best bet to get captioning. Thank you, John. Okay, so when you upload your cloud recording, it'll come up on your Zoom recordings profile, and then you can download the files or copy a shareable link. I don't know if they will, personally, but I can get back to you on that. I believe Kathy will have more on that. Okay, so once you download your cloud recordings, they actually come up in 2 files, an M4A and an MP4. If you're using both audio and video, make sure it's an MP4, not the M4A. M4A is just audio, MP4 is audio and video. Now, there is the option with Zoom Cloud to actually copy the shareable link. This link actually allows you to send it to whoever you need to, and they can copy it into their internet browser. And once they copy that into their internet browser, it looks like this. It looks like this, where you can actually go over here and download, the person can download the files if you allow them to. You don't have to, you can change that in your settings in the cloud. That, I believe, is for Panopto, where captions are automatic. I don't think Zoom's captions are automatic, because you actually have to have somebody else that's typing them out for the captions. That's the last I knew with Zoom's captioning services. Okay, so you want to record now to the computer. It gives you a circle instead of the little square or the little cloud. And then when you're done recording, you can end your meeting, and it'll let you know that as soon as the meeting ends, it will start converting for you. So once you end it, it comes up with a nice pop-up that says converting meeting recording. And then from there, it comes up as kind of the same things as the Zoom Cloud, where it shows audio only, MP4 or playback. So. It's your personal preference when you're recording. If you want to record and share it with a lot of people, I recommend going to the cloud when we get more storage. If you're just sharing it with like 1 or 2 people and it's a quick and simple meeting, I recommend going to the computer. Okay, so for screen sharing, once again, you'll go to your bottom bar and select share screen. And from there, it comes up with a bunch of different things that you can actually share that are on your screen. This is me sharing my phone screen. And here is the feature of the whiteboard where you can actually write with your mouse or an Apple Pencil, as John has actually told me before this meeting. And it's a great feature for people that are trying to write stuff out instead of, you know, typing in the chat system or showing other work. Please excuse my handwriting, by the way. It's not my best. And if you want to share a PowerPoint, you can just share the PowerPoint where you can see that this is where the PowerPoint is shared. Okay, so for points of view, this is what it looks like when you are the person obviously not sharing their screen. You're viewing so-and-so's screen. If you want to, you can go side by side, where actually it takes the people up top and it moves them to the side. That way you can see both the screen and the people. And then for other options to share your screen, there's points of views where it shows the person talking is in like a little bar that just says who's talking. There is the, once again, kind of like the way where it's just showing the person that's talking, but the actual webcam. And then there's the thumbnail video, which shows the stack of people. And then there's a grid one, which I did not get for this video, where it shows a giant grid of people that are sharing or that are on the video. Okay, so for screen sharing, top bar, basic features like the bottom bar where you can mute your video, stop your video, manage your participants, you can start a new share. If you pause your share, basically it just stays frozen in that specific screen. You can write on, add more. You can even write on the screen share that you have, remote control access, and plenty more. Back.
Okay, we're running out of time, so
Okay. Let me just get, I think that's really basically all I have. That's the important stuff. I do have a Zoom summary out there. If you are interested, please email me, as well as waiting room and breakout room documents. That is also an option. That was basically all I had too. Perfect. Awesome.
Okay, well, thank you. And if you have any other questions, please contact Tammy by email. I do have to end this session. I lost my chat thing. I'm not sure what happened. I have 4 different screens running right now. And I also need to do that to render the last video. So I know a number of people are coming in for the next session. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.